An appliance garage installed on a countertop requires a receptacle. The National Electrical Code, specifically Section 400.81 in the 2020 edition, mandates this requirement. This section states that an appliance garage shall be provided with at least one receptacle outlet located inside the designated space. The purpose of this code provision is to ensure that appliances stored within the appliance garage can be readily connected to a power source without the need for running cords outside the garage, which could create a safety hazard or be aesthetically unappealing. When installing an appliance garage, it is essential to plan for the placement of the receptacle outlet to ensure it is accessible and convenient for the intended appliances. The receptacle should be installed according to all applicable electrical codes and standards, including grounding and overcurrent protection requirements. Consider the types of appliances that will be used in the appliance garage when selecting the appropriate receptacle. For example, if high-power appliances like blenders or toasters will be used, a 20-amp receptacle may be necessary. It is also important to ensure that the receptacle is properly wired and connected to a circuit that can handle the load of the appliances that will be used. The location of the receptacle within the appliance garage should also be carefully considered. It should be placed in a location where it is easily accessible but will not be damaged by appliances or other items stored in the garage. The receptacle should also be protected from moisture and other environmental factors that could damage it. When installing the receptacle, it is essential to follow all manufacturer's instructions and safety precautions. Be sure to turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical wiring. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the job. In addition to the receptacle requirement, there may be other electrical codes and standards that apply to appliance garages. For example, the garage may need to be grounded to prevent electrical shock. It is also important to ensure that the wiring in a garage is properly protected from damage. If you are unsure about any of the electrical codes or standards that apply to appliance garages, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can help you ensure that your installation is safe and compliant with all applicable regulations. The requirement for a receptacle in an appliance garage is just one example of the many electrical codes and standards that are in place to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By following these codes and standards, you can help to ensure that your home or business is safe and electrically sound. Remember that electrical codes can vary depending on the location, so it's always best to check with your local authorities to ensure that you are complying with the specific requirements in your area. Failing to comply with electrical codes can result in fines or other penalties, and more importantly, it can create a safety hazard for yourself and others. So, always take the time to understand and follow the electrical codes that apply to your project. In summary, the NEC 400.8 clearly states the necessity of a receptacle outlet within an appliance garage installed on a countertop. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a requirement aimed at ensuring safety and convenience when using appliances in that space. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for the most up-to-date information and requirements. This ensures code compliance and safety. Furthermore, when installing the receptacle, ensure it is properly grounded. Grounding provides a low resistance path for electrical current to flow back to the source in the event of a fault, which helps to protect against electrical shock. The grounding conductor should be connected to the receptacle's grounding terminal and to the building's grounding system. Additionally, use appropriate wiring methods for the installation. The wiring method should be suitable for the environment in which the appliance garage is located. For example, if the appliance garage is located in a damp or wet location, you should use a wiring method that is approved for wet locations. Common wiring methods include conduit, cable, and raceway. Each wiring method has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to choose the one that is best suited for the specific application. Also, provide overcurrent protection for the receptacle circuit. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. The overcurrent protection device should be sized appropriately for the circuit and the appliances that will be used on it. It's crucial to select the correct ampacity rating for the overcurrent protection device to ensure that it will trip in the event of an overload or short circuit, preventing damage to the wiring and appliances. Moreover, label the receptacle circuit clearly. Labeling the receptacle circuit helps to identify which circuit breaker or fuse controls the receptacle. This can be helpful when troubleshooting electrical problems or when performing maintenance on the electrical system. The label should be placed near the receptacle and should clearly indicate the circuit number or other identifying information. Besides these points, consider the accessibility of the receptacle. The receptacle should be located in a place where it is easily accessible and convenient to use. It should not be located behind appliances or other obstructions that would make it difficult to reach. Also, consider the height of the receptacle. The height of the receptacle should comply with the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act (ADA) if the appliance garage is located in a public accommodation or commercial building. The ADA requires that receptacles be located within a certain height range to make them accessible to people with disabilities. Further considerations include verifying the local electrical codes. Electrical codes can vary depending on the location, so it's important to verify the local electrical codes before starting any electrical work. The local electrical codes may have additional requirements for receptacles in appliance garages that are not covered in the National Electrical Code (NEC). Consulting with a local electrical inspector is always a good idea to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. Another point to remember is to use a ground fault circuit interrupter GFCI receptacle if required. A GFCI receptacle is a type of receptacle that is designed to protect against electrical shock. GFCI receptacles are required in certain locations, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas where there is a risk of exposure to water. If the appliance garage is located in one of these areas, a GFCI receptacle may be required. Always refer to the local electrical codes to determine if a GFCI receptacle is required in your specific location. Also, consider the use of tamper-resistant receptacles. Tamper-resistant receptacles are designed to prevent children from inserting objects into the receptacle slots. These receptacles have a built-in shutter mechanism that prevents objects from being inserted unless both prongs of a plug are inserted simultaneously. Tamper-resistant receptacles are recommended for use in homes with young children. To further expand on best practices, ensure all electrical work is performed by a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous if it is not done properly. It is always best to hire a qualified electrician to perform any electrical work, especially if you are not comfortable working with electricity. A qualified electrician will have the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. After installation, it is important to inspect the installation thoroughly. After the receptacle is installed, it is important to inspect the installation thoroughly to ensure that it is safe and in compliance with all applicable codes. Check for any loose connections, damaged wiring, or other potential hazards. If you find any problems, correct them immediately. It's also a good practice to test the receptacle with a receptacle tester to verify that it is properly wired and grounded. Periodic maintenance is essential for electrical safety. Electrical systems require periodic maintenance to ensure that they are operating safely and efficiently. This includes checking for loose connections, damaged wiring, and other potential hazards. It is also important to test GFCI receptacles periodically to ensure that they are functioning properly. Regular maintenance can help to prevent electrical problems and ensure the safety of your home or business. To summarize, the presence of a receptacle within an appliance garage is not merely a matter of convenience but a codified safety requirement under NEC 400.8. This regulation aims to mitigate potential hazards associated with appliance usage within confined spaces, ensuring that electrical connections are made safely and efficiently. Compliance with this code necessitates careful planning and execution, encompassing considerations such as receptacle type, placement, wiring methods, and overcurrent protection. The overarching goal is to create a safe and functional environment for appliance usage, safeguarding against electrical shocks and fire risks. Therefore, when undertaking the installation of an appliance garage. Adherence to NEC 400.8 was paramount, reflecting a commitment to electrical safety and regulatory compliance. Remember, prioritizing safety and following best practices in electrical installations not only protects lives and property, but also contributes to the overall integrity and reliability of electrical systems.